everyone, my name is Dr. Lynn Carey, and I wanted to share with you a story that really moved me that happened to me over the weekend. I just tried to post about it, and Instagram took it down. Said it was hate speech, went against their community guidelines. This is a terrifying time that we're living in. I was at an event and I met an older gentleman who was born and raised in Venezuela, and he had told me that when I don't know what word it triggers their globalists, the New World Order people, the communists, when they took over their country, he was about 6 years old, and his father was exiled from the country because he was in the military and had sided with the other side of freedom. And 5 of those years, he was put in prison, and he didn't see his father again until he was 17. Which, think about all the time he lost with his father because of this ignorance and this tyranny. And when he saw his father again, his father showed him these horrific scars on his feet. My post couldn't even, I tried to keep it simple, but he said they were just these huge welts of things he had to step on and everything for the torture that they gave him in prison. And we both just cried thinking about it, because when I think of humans being that unkind, that, how do you say it? I don't even have words for it. To be that cruel to another human, I just can't even imagine. And it's horrible. And I told him, I said, that's what's happening here in our country. And I said, people are being distracted. I think I said the country that the current war is in. People are putting that as their profile picture. They are worried about DeSantis signing this bill. They're calling it Don't Say Gay when it's really protecting parental rights. They are still making themselves not breathe and injecting poison into themselves. And all these things are a distraction from what they're really trying to do, which is global tyranny. And I said, the Americans are too smug. They say it will never happen here. And he said, well, they say the same thing in my country. And I was just so moved. I still think about this conversation. He was such a beautiful man. And, we always read about these things in history books, even though our history books have been altered. I was trying to figure out, it's weird. It's almost like I sense something. I could never follow politics before, because when I would watch with like a debate or something, I'm like, this is a joke. Like, they're not solving anything. They're spinning. They're not getting to the root of anything. So I never followed politics. I was always labeled independent. I almost didn't even want to vote, but I felt like I was going too far because everybody talks about how the vote matters. And I knew they rigged it. I'm like, it can't matter. This is crazy. And I don't even know who I'm voting for, really. Everybody who would stand up there, they were, until Mr. T, they were all scumbags. They were all part of the tyranny. But I just tried to make sense of things. I want to understand the root cause of things. So I would focus on freedom in my own life. I had to learn to heal myself. I had to get myself out of the medical tyranny that was destroying me. And I will never, ever go to a doctor to tell them, for them to tell me what is wrong. I know that they don't understand health. I don't want them to label me, drug me, or cut something out of me. So I won't go that route. So I still have a hard time listening to people that go run to the doctor and get a medication to mask a symptom, because to me, they're not free. They don't understand how to control themselves. They're not in tune with their body. I wanted to understand why we put so much effort into working every day to pay for things that keep us in debt. I have to, even when I got into practice, it bothered me. I have to adjust this many people to just pay for my car, or just to pay for the rent on the building to adjust the people. Like, I can't believe that more people don't want to understand real economics, or okay with the Keynesian type economics that's being taught in the colleges. It doesn't even make sense. To me, it never made sense. So I had to keep digging until I found what true capitalism is. And I'm like, oh, it's the government interference is causing the slavery. I understood that. People don't understand that. People don't take the time. They'll work 40 hours a week. It's something they're not even passionate about, and don't question that. Hell, start digging, start reading. It took me years to find the truth, because most people I went to didn't understand. My accountant didn't understand. Brokerages who wanted to, take my money to invest it didn't understand. They couldn't explain it to me. So it was hard. It's not easy finding the truth. It's not hard. It's not easy finding the right doctor. It's not easy finding the right chiropractor. There's a lot of chiropractors that are, hate to say it, don't get it. So to really find the truth, to find people who are like you, but I've always been on the path to freedom. School, let alone what's happening now and what they're teaching, and it's outright deliberate programming and slavery. I didn't want my kid in there because I hated it so much. It felt like prison to me before I realized, people were confirming later that it is a prison. But they didn't teach me to be financially free. They didn't teach me to be how to heal myself. They didn't teach me to have leadership mindset. It didn't teach me anything except stress, which made me sick. And so it's all deliberate. It's a deliberate numbing down. So I've been on this journey to find freedom. And I don't know, there was parts of history that I kept thinking I need to explore. And I started reading about the Nazism, about Mengele, the angel of death who was killing all the people in the Nazi camps. I read about his book, which I don't even know if half of it was real because I think they were still working for the government here. He wasn't really in exile. I read a book about a lady who escaped Nazism, and she said, our neighbors tried to warn us, but we didn't believe them. I hear that's the common theme. When tyranny is about to take over a country, the people don't believe the government would do that to them. They don't believe it's going to happen. They're in denial. They think they're okay until it happens. So I see that here, and that always left a bad taste in my mouth. And then when the lockdown happened and I saw how many people just conformed and were afraid because they don't have control of their health. Because if they did, they would never have fell for it. And I realized all the years that I've been trying to teach people, you got to heal yourself. You got to walk away from the medical world. You got to get financially free. You got to learn to deal with the demons in your mind. Most people don't want to do it. And I don't know why. Because I don't know why they're here waking up every day. Rather live in pain. I'd rather face the pain and move through it and find my freedom. Because to me, it was too painful to ignore. Everybody says, oh, you have courage. I'm like, courage? I was living in so much pain. I wanted to die every day. So I don't know how you call that living. Chasing the next vacation, chasing the next paycheck, or the next raise, or the next relationship. That's all false freedom. To me, I still had to be with myself when it was over. And I wasn't at peace. So that's the true freedom. You find the peace within yourself, but then you have to face things. You got to have the courage to stand up. You got to have your priorities right. So, what a beautiful man it was that I got to. I wish I could find the words. I don't know what words triggered my takedown on my social media, but hopefully this doesn't get taken down. But I will continue to speak for freedom and truth, and I won't tone it down. I've had people say, oh, you got to tone it down a little bit for the normies, or, you can't cut everybody else out of your life, and I'm like, I can't numb down my conversation. I have too much peace within myself to sit and have a fake conversation with someone or to entertain their ignorance. So I hope this inspires you to live your truth, to do whatever it takes to find your peace and to find your freedom, because that's what we're here for. I really believe that. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day.